This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
A tremendous way for the UNI football team to start the 2016 season. A 25-20 victory over Big 12 opponent and in-state rival Iowa State. Coach, a fantastic win. Your big takeaway from this football game?
It was just a fantastic win, just like you said. I mean, how it came together, the way our players handled, and they were resilient because there was a chance that we fell behind there in the fourth quarter. But the energy that we had going down the stretch and sealing the football game was tremendous. Your
UNI Panthers have won 3 of the last 5 meetings between Iowa State. It's a great football game for the state of Iowa, but it's really turned into quite the rivalry.
Well, it has, and in particular for our players to get that opportunity to go down there. And it's a gorgeous stadium. It's a great night. The night games are awesome there, and they're just memorable. But then when you play the way we did and have success on top of it, it just makes everything right.
Talking about playing the way you did, the end of the first half, very key. Moving into that second half, Iowa State had just scored. Your defense bounced back with a sack, and you finished with a touchdown right before halftime.
Well, the safety for a sack was huge. I mean, they got into an empty set, and we got a guy free off the edge and made a play. And then to come right back and score with 2 seconds left on the clock, I mean, if you could have wrote a script, that's how you'd write it. But there was a lot of ifs and choices had to be made there, but Aaron made a great play.
The decision then after the timeout to go for 6 when you knew it was going to be the last play of the half.
Well, one, I knew we had a young football team going down there. I know how we talk and how we teach and how our players want to think. But yet you have to actually go out and perform that way, so we had to be the aggressor in it, so we made the choice to go for it, and Aaron made the play.
Yeah, 2-yard touchdown run for Aaron Bailey. On the defensive side of the ball, a lot of guys really stepped up. Deshaun Dexter, though, part of a couple of fumbles, recovered one in the second quarter and then forced one in the fourth quarter.
You know, Deshaun played hard all day long. I mean, whether it was the ball run at him or away from him, he was running after it. He was on every special team, so he wanted that game bad. He knows he's in his senior year, but that's how we all have to play. So we kind of look to him to lead us by example, and he did that.
How about on the defensive line? Hezekiah Applegate, 7 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss. A lot of pressure coming from your defensive line up front.
A new name up front. It was Hezekiah, and there's a lot of new names. And Hezekiah stepped up again. When you look at his body of work, there was no big shining moment for him, but his body of work was tremendous of what he did throughout that whole day, and that's his consistency in play.
Another good body of work, Mark Farley at linebacker, capped the game off with an interception, led the team in tackles, Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
He played a tremendous game. I mean, he knows he missed some tackles and left some plays out there like everyone did, but at the end of the day, you know, he was a big part of that interior that stopped the running game, that gave us that chance to win the game. When they did put it up at the end, he was in the right place at the right time. In
that secondary, you had Charles Brown, former wide receiver until just a week ago, right? Move into that secondary, and he came up with a big play.
Charles Brown on Monday morning of game week woke up as a receiver. He went to bed as a DB. So he had to turn around and recall all the things that we had taught him as DB his first 2 years here. And unselfishly, he went to it. He didn't question it at all. He went there and became the starter and did a great job.
All right, part of the UNI Panther program philosophy. Next man in, sometimes even flip sides of the ball. Coming up here on Panther Sports Talk, we'll talk with Coach Farley about being UNI's all-time winningest coach. We'll take a look at the offense's performance, too, against Iowa State.